Welcome back to Tipping Point. I'm your host, Kara McKinney. Dual U.S. citizen and journalist Gonzalo Lira reportedly died in Ukrainian custody, according to his father, is told to the Gray Zone. Quote, "Right now, I'm about to try to get out of Ukraine and seek political asylum in Hungary. Either I'll cross the border and I'll make it to safety, or I'll be disappeared by the Kyiv regime." End quote. That's what Gonzalo Lira wrote on his social media not too long before he was rearrested last year by Ukrainian authorities while living in Kharkiv with his Ukrainian wife for allegedly violating their laws against speaking out about the war with Russia and for allegedly being too sympathetic to Moscow. Lira's arrest was even used for propaganda purposes by the U.S. transgender transplant to Ukraine, Sarah Ashton Cirillo. Watch.
There's a reason you haven't heard from Gonzalo Lira yet with his so-called attempts at asylum in Hungary. It's because the state security services, better known as the SBU, are some of the most talented and focused law enforcement agents across the globe.
Now, Lira's father claims that his son was tortured before his death on the 12th of this month, though I don't think government officials have confirmed his passing just yet. A week or so beforehand, on the 4th, a blogger who knows the family published a letter online that was said to be written by Lira, detailing how his health had taken a turn for the worse while behind bars. In the letter, Gonzalo Lira explained how he had full body swelling, pneumonia, and also had suffered a collapsed lung. Venture capitalist David Sachs highlighted an old video of Lira in which he predicted this exact kind of end for himself should he be arrested. Sachs writes, quote, "Gonzalo Lira's last public statement is chilling. He knew that if arrested, he would die in a Ukrainian prison. He pleaded for public outcry to put pressure on the U.S. State Department to do what it ordinarily does for American citizens trapped in these circumstances. But the outcry never came. The mainstream media ignored his story. So State Department officials were free to ignore the plight of a journalist who had criticized them. Gonzalo was abandoned, and so the Ukrainian government could treat him as they wished, as they treat other dissenters and critics, with imprisonment, brutality, and murder." End quote. Now watch the video for yourself.
The start of the genesis of this whole situation is because I had an opinion that went against the narrative. And that's why I went to prison. And that's why, if I'm arrested again, I will die in prison. So I ask you, please, as many people as possible, the American State Department knows exactly who I am and the situation I'm currently involved in. And they know the fate that awaits me. They know it. You know, they have that saying that, I forget the wording exactly. You know, I'm a little stressed out, as you can imagine, but they have that saying that people are fundamentally good, but for evil to triumph, all you need is the indifference of good people. Please don't be indifferent to my fate. I ask you this very humbly. Please recognize that, well, the literal death that awaits me if this doesn't work out. Understand what's going on.